Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned. Hello guys, welcome to Global Happenings. Today we have a trending news here for you. And the headline of the news reads, prominent political analyst and oil Mogul cries out, Rwanda is looting in Nigeria. See reactions. But before we continue with details of the news and further analysis, we'd like to encourage you to please subscribe to the channel by clicking on the red subscribe button and also on the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish our videos on YouTube. All right, let's look at the news in details. Popular political analyst and the CEO of Hassan Venture Oil and Gas Limited has taken to his Twitter handle to pass a message and warn that what happened in Rwanda might be looting in the Middle Belt, since the government has continuously backed the actions of the Fulanis. And in his word, he said, ongoing genocide, ethnic cleansing, land grabbing operations by Fulanis in Nigeria, fully backed by Buhari's administration against the people of Bokos in Plateau State. Tens were killed and slaughtered last week. Rwanda is loading in Nigeria Middle Belt at EU_Commission at real Donald Trump. He further stated in another tweet, he said, your president had to involve Air Force gun helicopter in Niger State. If you don't think that is war already, then go check on your definition of. Meanwhile, let's be more concerned about one side being fully armed while the other side is deliberately being handicapped. He also went further to write again. He said the fact that bandits have weapons to shoot down police helicopter is enough proof that this government is not in charge of security, especially the commander-in-chief. This government has failed. No gainsaying about that. And there were a lot of reactions from Nigerians as some persons had responded to what he said. This one says they think it's usual Nigerian politics. Those people mean business. And another one here says this government is not hiding its bias in favor of the militia group. And I want to say it's unfortunate that it is happening in the Bokos, but when they were killing our people, the Borums and still killing our Bokos brother claim we are troublemakers. They welcome them today. See, we must all join hands to fight this common enemy before we are all consumed. Another one here says, this shouldn't be happening anyway in Africa. Together we are strong. This one says they think it's usual Nigerian politics. Okay, a lot of responses from different quarters. And this one says, sir, you're right. Obasanjo has warned us on these, but they disregarded him. Just yesterday, the Nigerian police helicopter was shot down by Ansaru terrorist group in Kaduru Forest, Beningari. 250 terrorist members were said to have been killed. This is serious. That one says that there was a mass burial for 22 victims in Bokos last week. The sad news is that there is a village in Bokos where these Fulani kill and chase the people away, then settled there comfortably without any arrest from the security. Our governor have been caged as NGF, that's Northern Governors Forum Chairman. A lot of write-up, and this is really not interesting and there are a lot of persons who may not really understand when we talk about what Nigeria is turning. There are a lot of persons who may not really understand what this man is talking about, that very soon Rwanda is loading in Nigeria. That was way, I think that was way one of the worst happened, many years ago, precisely in April 1994 to July. Actually, the war lasted for about 100 days, and it was between the Tutsis and the Hutu or so, yeah, and the Tutsis were the one that were really murdered. It was kind of, ethnic cleansing. It was one of the most horrific scene ever, because between that 100 days, about 500,000, based on estimate, about 500,000 to 1 million people were killed during that period. It was one of the most horrific sides. If maybe you don't know much about this, I would like you to just go check it out. It was very, very terrible, and there's still a lot of people who have been prosecuted in respect to that issue, and it's almost happening in Nigeria, because the Fulanis they're taking over virtually everything. What we are seeing currently in the country is not what we have been expecting. Why? Because the present day government have always been saying that they are out to fight anything like terrorism or any form of insecurity. Herald picked it. I saw in Herald newspaper fairly recently where the president, during the time he was commissioning, I think, helicopters for Air Force, he said that he had fulfilled his promise to Nigerians that he will combat Boko Haram. And what I'm really perceiving is that there are people informing him of possibly the development in terms of fighting insecurity, and they are giving him actually fake news. They are not really telling him the truth of what is currently happening. Don't also forget that fairly recently he didn't mention that he didn't know that the level of insecurity had grown to the level it is currently in Nigeria. So it shows that people who have been reporting to him, possibly is it the security service chiefs or whoever, the people who have been reporting to him, have been giving him false information. Don't forget that the likes of Lai Mohammed went on national television, international television, during an interview to tell the world that he doesn't know a lot of things, and remember that at the start of, I think, end of last year, towards the end of that year and start of this year, he came up also and said that Boko Haram has been technically defeated. And everybody kept asking, what's the meaning of technically defeated when it's so glaring now, just like minority whip said in Senate. I'm talking about Abaribe, who opened up and said to them that before now it was propaganda, they were playing around. It's now reality staring on our faces, because it's virtually haunting everybody. You understand? So, and if you look at the trend of things currently, if you look at some of the responses given by those who are residents of those areas, you see that more other groups are coming up. They are springing up, and their purpose is to see if they can also secure a large chunk of this country. And with what is going on, if we continue to keep quiet the way it's going on, I can't see Nigeria being won in the nearest future. That is one serious issue that we have to look at. Considering what this man has said, the issue of ethnic cleansing and eradication of a particular tribe, especially in the middleman, do you think that truly Rwanda is loading soonest in Nigeria, or do you think it will be hindered by the present day government?
If nothing is done, it may likely happen, because the truth of the matter is, we all see it, even though we don't want to say it. Most Nigerians do speak, but we do not want to make it, so prominent. But it's obvious. What has cattle rearing got to do with the AK-47? Do you now shoot your cow when it's going in disarray? Do you shoot a stubborn cow? You use sticks. Those days, that's what we know for grazing. But now you see, Fulani headsmen using AK-47. Well, a normal farmer is permitted to only use hoe. He's not even allowed to use also AK-47 to also guide his farmland. Peradventure, the fruit or the roots of his crop want to disobey, he can also hold his AK-47, since that's the excuse every man is holding. If a Fulani headsman can hold AK-47 to, align his stubborn cow, a farmer should also hold AK-47 to be able to protect his roots of his crop from, disobedience disobeying, you can align the root of the crop with AK-47. That way, everybody is in tune. It's not when farmers are allowed to hold only hoe, and Fulani herdsmen are allowed to hold AK-47. It just begin to play on Nigerians' intelligence. So yes, he's very correct. If nothing is done, we see ethnic cleansing taking place already. Some days back, one of the Fulani group came up openly and said from Sokoto, from Nigeria, they said that the Uthman that followed the ancient jihadists came to Nigeria and said Nigeria, that's according to them now, open letter to Nigerians, that Nigeria is his land, is their land, that from Sokoto downward to the oceanic Atlantic Ocean belongs to the Fulanis, and Nigeria should not even dream it, that they want to come and take Nigeria as their land. But the one or two people have been playing low over the statement, saying these are not, they don't recognize that group. But for them to say that that's the song of the jihadists, and now for them to now say that, don't forget, just fairly recently, that's about 2-3 weeks there, about Simeon Lalong was busy using politics, saying no, we need community policing. That's Governor of Plateau State, this same Plateau we're talking about. By the time they hammered like 20 of his people, he himself turned his mouth quickly and said, no, arrest them, go and arrest the head of the Fulani headsmen. They started picking them. When they picked them, you now ask me a question. Arrested them and took them to Abuja. Is it in Abuja that the crime took place? You begin to see hanky-panky. They did something in Plateau. You arrested them and took them to Abuja as what? As a political elite. If they have done a crime in a Plateau, let the police pick them and let corporal punishment meted to them. But no, they took the special guest to Plateau, to Abuja. You begin to see, as if they're not even serious. Making him the chairman of the Governors Forum, Northern Governors Forum. It's as if they're tying his hands so that he doesn't speak. Bit by bit, they are putting, reducing his people. Bit by bit, you begin to see that his hands are tied. And like this man has rightly said, as Shola has rightly said, if nothing is done, bit by bit, we begin to see some ethnic group gradually being wiped out and no one is talking. So I feel that in this case, if the security chiefs seem not to be on top of their job, I think the right thing for every Nigerian to do now is to protect their territory. That's how I see it.
All right, thank you very much, and I hope that what is happening will not result to ethnic cleansing. And I also, just like my colleague has said, I think there's need for everyone to wake up. Don't forget that security is not just a thing for the government. Just like what these guys did in the southwestern Motekum, bringing up security outfit that will help combat this. Guess what? The one person cannot fix this issue. That's as an individual, a resident of Plateau cannot fix this issue. But if we gang up as a team, gang up as one people with one purpose, with one objective to pursue these people out of our territory, certainly victory is assured, because everyone will be employing all the weaponries that will make this possible. Sitting back and just watching things happening and trying to run away from your ancestral land is not the solution. Yes, you may say weaponry and all of that, but hey, let's be real. This is Nigeria. This is Africa. We know that people can get involved in things in their own ancestral land. The forces of the earth can, they can get involved, and the forces of the earth will, with God in heaven, will work against those who are bringing up war against them. If Nigeria must remain one, then these people must be combated. If they are not, I'm telling you the whole truth, that the future may not be certain for our people.
I feel that this is like a signal to other terrorist groups. Ever since Boko Haram came, they have been technically been defeated, quote unquote, as the presidency have said. But each time they're technically defeated, you keep seeing symptoms and signs of they're being very vibrant in Nigeria. So it's not like a signal to other terrorist groups. Say, look, it looks like this land, Nigeria, is favorable. We can pick some chunk, If these guys are fighting now and they've taken over Borno, let's see if we can take our own side. That's why you begin to see groups like Fulani herdsmen beginning to be bold to say, look, from this place and this place, please stay off. It's now our land. Really. And that in fact our forefather Usman that followed gave it to us. And you see the likes of ISIS, the likes of ISWAP, IDP coming up. Before now, Jonathan's time, we only had the issue of battling Boko Haram. Now there are more than Boko Harams. There's this new one that is now very deadly. That's this Asaru terrorist group. These ones are deadly. They kill everything. Islam or Christian, everything. They kill everything. Just stand in their way, they kill, they bomb mosques, they bomb everything. So you now begin to say as if Nigeria is now a no man's land. Come and take your chunk and go. So if you ask me, instead of waiting, it looks like our security agencies are still not yet on top of their job. While they are still figuring out how to go about this, let Nigerians defend themselves.
All right, thank you very much. That's where we're going to leave you. Go to our comment section, let us interact. What's your position about the statement made by this oil Mongol and also well-known political analyst? I'm talking about Olushola Folabi, as Olu Folabi. He's well known for analyzing politics. Do you think that actually Rwanda maybe